Welcome to A Thing Per Week, and in today's video we'll be doing a fictional war scenario where every country in the Football World Cup in Qatar goes into a full-out war. For the sake of entertainment, I'll be dissolving all alliances and mostly ignoring world politics as a whole, except for some parts of the video where I'll give it a little twist. And there won't be any nukes because, yes, we all know how that ends. With all that said, let's get into the madness. First off, we'll match all the groups against each other and eliminate half of the countries. The groups are such as colored and the war begins. First group is Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal and the Netherlands. Second group is Iran, England, Wales, which I'll put together, and the US. For the third group we have Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico and Poland. Fourth group is France, Denmark, Tunisia and Australia. Coming in fifth, we've got Spain, Costa Rica, Germany and Japan. Sixth group is Belgium, Canada, Morocco and Croatia. Seventh group is Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland and Cameroon. And the last group is Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay and South Korea. Instantly after the war starts, the US captures all of Canada's major cities and annexes it, and Brazil and Argentina divide Uruguay between themselves. The US takes over Baja California, and France and the Netherlands divide Belgium. Spain takes over northern Morocco, and some fights happen in the Croatia-Serbian border but with no advancements. Northeastern France is swarmed by a combination of troops from Switzerland and the Netherlands, and Spain jumps on the opportunity to grab some of southern France. But Tunisia tries to help France by taking over Spanish territories in Morocco, but they only manage to achieve one successful landing. With the help of the US, England manages to land successfully in northern France, and Paris is taken over by the Netherlands. France is split up by its neighbors, and this gives Spain the chance to push Tunisia out of its borders. Moving over to the Middle East, Qatar is taken over by Iran, and a naval battle ensues between Iran and Saudi Arabia, with neither of the two being able to do any advancements. The Japanese Navy manages to take multiple landings in South Korea, and a border is set up between the two, and Serbian troops finally break into Croatia and capture its northern half. Iran manages to land in Saudi Arabia, and its troops swarm the major cities, and with some US support, they capitulate the country. After months of preparation, the US and Brazil join forces in order to invade Argentina, with all of it, except for some coastline, taken over by Brazil. A combination of efforts by Germany and Spain managed to take over Tunisia, which is annexed by Spain, and Denmark, which is annexed by Germany, leaving Australia as the only member of the pink team left. The US makes landings in Costa Rica and Mexico in Ecuador, taking over both countries. Serbia takes the rest of Croatia, and Spain over the rest of Morocco, eliminating the orange team. South Korea gets fully annexed by Japan after massive fights, and in the effort not to allow Germany and Spain to touch borders, Switzerland and England take over the Netherlands and split it amongst themselves. Now that half of the nations have fallen, some countries decide to get in the war, being Nigeria, which joins the light blue team, North Korea and Russia, which join on the green team, China joins on the purple team, and another bunch of nations join teams. We end up with this map. Spain and its African allies take over most of the neutral nations in Africa and conquer Senegal, eliminating the red team, and the light blue team takes over the rest of Africa and unifies under a singular country named the African Union. The North African territories of the yellow team also unify under the Northern African Republic, and so do the light blue countries in South America under the American Union of Nations. The American Union of Nations annexes Chile and the US territories in South America, dealing a devastating hit to the US. Central Europe is taken over by the yellow team, and Ukraine, the Baltics and Finland are invaded by Russia. The EU is formed by the yellow team, also including Spain's territories in Africa. Portugal and Ghana are taken over by the yellow and light blue teams, eliminating the dark green team. Central Asia joins the light green team, and most of the Asian and European nations in the green team except for India unite. Sweden and Norway enter the EU, and all remaining neutral countries in the Middle East join the blue team. A massive coalition between the green and yellow teams managed to put the Middle Eastern blue nations out, and Mexico takes the opportunity to invade some of the US and Central America. The American Union of Nations take the opportunity to backstab the green team and take over some of the territories in America. The purple team unites and take over some neutral nations, and the yellow team takes over England and Ireland, and Mexico and the rest of the green team take over all of the US and unify completely. A joint military operation between the pink team and the EU manages to take all over green territories in Asia, but the stalemate in Africa is broken, and the EU and Northern African Republic get pushed back by the light blue team. the EU and Northern African Republic unite. The light blue team manages to completely take over the green team, but the reorganization of their troops led to it losing Africa to the yellow team. The yellow team manages to make landings in North and South America, and the pink team invaded from Alaska. The blue team finally collapses, but out of the blue, Nepal and Bhutan form a union and take over the entire world thanks to the years of spying and infiltration, both of the remaining years, with them being the ultimate winners. And this is the end of this video. If you somewhat enjoyed, a like and subscription would be hugely appreciated since I'm a quite small channel. And I hope to see you next time.